Good evening and welcome to Pleasant Grove High School, home of the Hawks, and we've got a great volleyball matchup here for you tonight out of District 14 4A. I'm Stephen Johnston, joined alongside Zach Doty for this contest as the Pleasant Grove Lady Hawks welcome in the North Lamar Pantherettes. And Zach, this one is for sole control of second place after the first round of district play.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really important matchup. Like you mentioned, the first round of district play. This is the first meeting that these two squads will have against each other, and it's a fun one. Both teams coming in at 3-1 right now in the district. Both of them, their only losses to Sulphur Springs, who has kind of just been dominating the district right now. But it should be a highly anticipated matchup. I mean, just kind of looking through the numbers, it should be a really fun one.
Yeah, absolutely. And Pleasant Grove comes in with a very good front row. They're very tall up front. North Lamar comes in very athletic. They've got a Division I basketball player on their side. And so with that said, it does seem like it's going to be a very evenly matched game here tonight. The player that I'm really looking at for Pleasant Grove is their middle blocker, Jayla Rowden. I got a chance to see her whenever Pleasant Grove went to Paris, and she had a phenomenal night. And, you know, as that broadcast went on, I just started to call her Butter, because any time that it seemed like Pleasant Grove started to waver a little bit, they would just go right to her, get back in the game, come out ahead, and they eventually took the final 3 sets in a 4-set contest.
Yeah, seeing Jayla just over the years, I mean, since I've been here at game day, and not only just volleyball, but all sports that she competes in. She's a multi-sport athlete. She dominates in softball and I believe basketball as well, but for sure softball. But she really found her own last year, part of a really good Pleasant Grove squad that made a big push in the playoffs last year. And after a lot of those girls ended up graduating, Jayla Rowden was really the one that kind of held it down and kind of was the main piece that was returning this year.
And then on the other side, we mentioned the Division I basketball player, Alexa Lane, headed to Abilene Christian University. And you can tell she's a basketball player at heart. When they start to warm up with the volleyball, she's crossing over, going behind her back and doing those sorts of things. But a very good outside hitter for the North Lamar Pantherettes. And so whenever you talk about matchups, those are going to be the ones that, to me, are the most interesting, your power hitters from each side.
Yeah, and I was looking at the numbers that were provided on Max Preps, and Alexa Lane, she leads the team in kills with 305 kills. That is 163 more than the next girl on North Lamar. Just kind of an insane number as she's averaging 3.5 kills per set.
And they don't have a ton of size, North Lamar, but they do have the athleticism. They can jump over the net. I think that Pleasant Grove certainly has that size advantage, not just with Rowden, but also Byrne. You can bring Haynard off the bench as well in rotation. They go pretty deep for Pleasant Grove as they call out their starting lineup.
Yeah, and like we mentioned, I mentioned, it was a lot of new faces coming into this year, and so they've really just been trying to find their own. And you've seen more of a rotation instead of kind of that senior-heavy squad where it was kind of the same consistent group that was constantly out there. And now it's just kind of a playing by committee and using that full depth that you have throughout top to the bottom of the lineup.
So for the Pleasant Grove Lady Hawks, they're going to go Audrey Boemke, the libero junior, Riley Byrne, outside hitter and defensive specialist, a senior. Jayla Rowden, we talked about her, the middle blocker, a senior. Maggie Pregine, the setter, a senior. Miley Cook, defensive specialist, a junior. And then Kennedy McBride, a setter as well, a junior. And we will pause a moment for our nation's anthem. And following that, we'll bring you 14-4A district play. right, thank you very much. And as the two teams traditionally go to midcourt to give a high five, we went through the Pleasant Grove Lady Hawks starting lineup. And for the North Lamar Pantherettes, visiting from Lamar County, it'll be Chris Malone, junior outside hitter. Ella Nelson, the freshman, who has been having a phenomenal year, not just on the volleyball court, but also in cross country. Landry Spencer, the setter. Alexa Lane, senior outside hitter. Ava Rangel, middle blocker. She's a junior. And then Lacey Webster, who leads the team in blocks as a middle blocker, a junior as well. You can also expect, of course, Lily Stewart to rotate in and be a mainstay in this North Lamar Pantherette lineup.
Well, and so like we mentioned on previous volleyball broadcasts last year, and with our one at Texas High last week, excuse me, the mind games always start right there pregame in that circle. You want to be the first one that kind of, you don't want to be the first one that breaks out of the huddle. You want to show a little bit more camaraderie. You want to be a little bit louder. You want to show a little bit more excitement. I mean, it always starts with the little things, even pregame.
Absolutely. So both teams on the floor, giving some high fives to their coaches, getting some last-minute words of encouragement and strategy. And we are ready to get this thing underway, and it'll be Landry Spencer at the service line for the North Lamar Pantherettes. And we are underway here at Pleasant Grove in Texarkana for game day. Set outside immediately. And North Lamar ends up in the stands. And who do they go to right out of the gate?
Yep. Jayla Rowden right there off the outside. A really good job there by the North Lamar girls to try to get a hand on it. It just ended up kind of bouncing outside and ended up being too hard to corral after that.
McBride on the other end, service for Pleasant Grove. And it'll be Lane from middle of the court, but Pleasant Grove right back over. Set by McBride. Rowden just kind of dumps it over the top. And that's when it gets difficult. Last time she put a big swing on it. This time the soft touch. You're going to have to deal with both parts of her game.
Yeah, it was a beautiful sequence there right there by her. She had that block to send it back over to North Lamar. They ended up coming over. She fakes out the skill and just ends up tapping it over into that dead zone.
McBride handled by Lane, set up for Webster, and here's Rowden again with the block. And just pushed over by North Lamar. McBride back set this time.
Great job there by Kinley Walker. She was also a part of that block with Jayla Rowden initially, and then they end up going outside with her to score Pleasant Grove's third point.
3-0 early on in this match. McBride handled by Nelson, back set. Here's a big swing. Does it fall in? And they're going to say yes, it caught the line.
Yeah, that one just catches in the back line. Really good job there by the Lady Panthers to take advantage of the full court. End up getting their first point here in this first set.
Malone to serve for North Lamar. Received on the other end by Walker, but can't get it back over. It'll go North Lamar's way. That'll send Malone back to the service line.
Good job by Lacey Webster to understand that one right there at the net and just kind of tip it over. Take advantage of an easy point.
Nelson gets tied up a little bit with Spencer, but North Lamar able to get it back over. Set up on the other side for Walker. Walker kills it home, and the service will go back to Pleasant Grove.
And the Lady Hawks kind of got it a little bit lucky there. They were having a really tough time receiving the serves from North Lamar, and so that one ended up staying just on their side before the net and not doing the same thing as the previous point.
And the freshman for Pleasant Grove, Ariana, serving. And the freshman for North Lamar, Ella Nelson, sends it back over. But Pleasant Grove comes away with the point. And a 5-2 lead early on in this first set. Ariana will head back to the service line.
Another good job there by Kinley Walker, her third point of the set already.
And this one going a little bit awry. And looks like for North Lamar, it'll be Lily Stewart.
Lily Stewart, the libero senior. Good job receiving it by the other libero. Jayla Rowden noticing nothing on that back lines, ended up hitting it out with the North Lamar Lady Panthers.
And so Pleasant Grove takes over service, and it'll be Rowden after that kill. North Lamar put a little bit of a touch on it. Set up and just put a little bit too much on that set over the net. And Lane wanting another shot at it, and she gets it down the line.
Incredible job there by Alexa Lane. You can really tell from this viewpoint how aggressive she is whenever she's coming up for those kills. And she put everything in that, and a really good job to put that on the other side of Rowden.
Didn't really like that first ball that she got. Touched it over, and whenever North Lamar got the ball back on their side of the net, she was immediately asking for another set. And the second time around, much better placement. And she goes right down the line for the kill. And now I think we just have a wet spot on the floor, maybe.
Yeah, there was a wet spot. It looks like they got it cleaned up, and they're getting ready to serve it back the other way now.
So Nelson, the freshman. Pleasant Grove, Walker sending it back over. Stewart bumps. And they have someone in the net. And that'll be a point going over to North Lamar. You know, a lot like in basketball, they say that it's a game of runs.
Yeah.
You could say the exact same thing in volleyball. It's North Lamar kind of rallying back after an early deficit. You now have Haynard in. We talked about her a little bit in the pregame, how she adds that depth with her size coming off the bench and gets a kill and a point for her Pleasant Grove Lady Hawks.
Yeah, and it's a really good job by Haynard to kind of kill that run that you were talking about. I mean, those are the biggest things is kind of stopping those momentum and figuring things out down the line.
Set outside to the aforementioned Haynard and blocked by Rangel at the net.
An incredible block there by Rangel to make that happen. As she was kind of going the opposite way of where Haynard was hitting it, ended up still getting a really good lick on that ball.
So now Alexa Lane. We talk about how big this match is. Obviously, still plenty of volleyball to be played, a whole second round of district, but between these two teams, they know that they still have an opportunity at a district title if one of these can take down Sulphur Springs. This one kind of couldn't tell if it was blocked or just popped into the net and back, but either way, it goes Pleasant Grove's way. And Dodie, that's why this match is so vital. If you have your second loss in round one, then it is really going to be a challenge, and you're going to need help in order to get back into the district title conversation.
Yeah, and things become a little bit strange as well now that there's the whole Division I, Division II thing also. And so it becomes a little bit more of a question as where exactly do I fall? Because even if you are a second or third place team in district, you could still be the top person out of there. And so it's just kind of a weird spot, and depends on kind of where, you know, who four is. You know, it's just kind of different in many different ways.
Rangel with a difficult serve, but Pleasant Grove getting it back over and now setting up. And this one will end up in the stands.
That was Riley Byrne there with the kill, getting that down. Came down hard, just really tough job trying to get that one.
The libero, Boemke, the junior, to serve. Stewart set up by Nelson, and the kill down the other side. Back towards the middle of the floor is Landry Spencer. And now, after Pleasant Grove kind of got off to the hotter start, we've been going a little bit back and forth. And, you know, not that 3-0 is something that's insurmountable, but when it comes to talking about momentum, There's an ace from Spencer to knot this thing up.
Yeah, Landry Spencer, the second most aces on the team with 46. Adding to her total there now with 47, only behind Lily Stewart with 57.
Bump, set to the outside, Rowden, and this just falls out. North Lamar had the block put on, and it does get back to the other side of the net, but couldn't keep it in play.
Yeah, it was kind of a weird spike there by Rowden where it came down and it was ended up being blocked but got caught too much in the net. But then after it comes down, falls out of bounds.
Set this time and couldn't quite get the right trajectory on it is Malone.
Good block there at the net by Rowden and Byrne. 2-point lead for the Lady Hawks here in this first set.
And now McBride and Nelson. That's going to be an error. And that's something that North Lamar has struggled with, is that serve receive and that ball kind of going awry. It's, you know, the serve is a good one, not necessarily anything special, but being able to receive it has been an issue at times for the North Lamar Pantherettes. This time they correct it. Nelson puts a good hit on it.
Yeah, Miley Cook just playing a little bit too up on that one. Ends up coming off of her hands. Ends up going behind her. Good job by North Lamar to recognize that.
Malone. Set to the outside, cross court, finds the open spot. And that was Walker. And, you know, we talk about Haynard, we talk about Walker. These are girls who come off the bench, and that's just a lot of depth to have to deal with.
And that's a beautiful job by Walker to recognize that. And a lot of that comes with communication from the other girls on the court as well, telling her where to place that ball as it's in the air.
Ariana, freshman, on the other side, just touched over by Lane. And now trying to go back to that same spot, but can't quite keep it in. And the point will go over to the North Lamar Pantherettes. And it'll be Lily Stewart to serve.
Yeah, I think that Haynard thought she was a little bit closer to the outside than she was whenever she was trying to hit that one over. That one will sail out and be a point for Pleasant Grove.
And you could tell that Boemke, as she heads out, I mean, she took a long look at that one to make sure that it did go out, ended up being the right decision.
And it was a really good serve there by Lily Stewart, and you can see why she has those 57 aces on the year, with just how long it lasted in the air and you thinking that it's going to land.
This time on the receive, North Lamar goes long. Point goes over to Pleasant Grove. Rowden serving. Set up outside Nelson, blocked at the net. And a really nice placement that time from Haynard. Nothing spectacular about it, just knew where she needed to go with the ball. Got a little help from the net. And now Pleasant Grove in a really good position here if they can withstand a run from North Lamar in the first set. Lane, big jump and swing. Pleasant Grove able to handle it, and Stewart does a phenomenal job that time, and it sails back over towards PG. And the point will go to North Lamar with Ella Nelson set to serve.
A really tough one there to receive as it was just kind of floating over the net. Two girls kind of not on the same page with who was going to receive it.
So Nelson set up Walker. Stewart bumps it, and a nice swing that time from Spencer. And as I was saying, you know, Pleasant Grove sitting in a really good position. They were up 16-11. North Lamar reels off a couple of points, trying to get back. And this time Pleasant Grove decides to play that one, sets it up, and goes cross court for the kill.
A really good job there by the Lady Hawks to make something out of that. I mean, I think Bimke probably could have let that one go and it would have sailed out. She ends up keeping it in play, and a really good job there by McBride to end up finding that zone.
Stewart, this one kind of floats over, and that's dangerous territory. When you're receiving, that bump causes the ball to just kind of float back. And now we have a timeout, and we'll be right back here on Game Day.
Sports injuries can happen anytime, on the field, on the court, and even in your backyard. At Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital, we treat sprains, fractures, concussions, and more with fast, compassionate care close to home. We're open 24/7 with on-site imaging like x-rays, ultrasounds, CT scans, and MRI for quick, accurate diagnosis and treatment all in one place. Let us help you get back to the game faster. Visit TexarkanaEmergencyCenter.com for more information.
At Raffaelli Property Management, keeping our tenants comfortable is a top priority. That's why we trust Lone Star Heat and Air. They've always been dependable, quick to respond, and their work is top-notch. Whether it's routine service.
And back out of the timeout, 18-13, Pleasant Grove with a first set lead. And with service from Prigine. Bemke having to fight it back over, setting up Nelson with Alexa Lane, big swing.
Yeah, with the way that she comes swinging down, it's just almost impossible to receive that. I mean, that is just so tough.
And that was, really the exciting thing for me going into this match was seeing Alexa Lane and then Rowden on the other side, but you've also got some big hitters for both teams as there's a double block at the net. Spencer and Rangel.
Yeah, that setup just fell a little flat, a little short whenever Colvins was trying to return that one, or set it up and kill it.
Now Lane serving as Pleasant Grove goes outside to McBride, and she gets it to fall.
Just kind of rolled off of her fingers, ended up rolling off of the top of the blockers. They were expecting it to come down harder, so the timing was messed up there and ends up rolling over the top of the net. And for a Lady Hawk point.
Now Hennard. Back set. Bemke, great job defensively to get that ball up in the air so her team could control it. And on the other end, a little push from Malone. And not quite able to keep it in play as McBride, awfully close on that cross-court hit. But it goes to the North Lamar Pantherettes, 19-16 with Ava Rangel set to serve. Lacey Webster rotating in for the Pantherettes. Sent over by North Lamar, set up. And neither team really able in this rally to get something with heat, but finding the floor in the open space is a McBride. And just as I say that, she puts a pretty good swing on it, and then the phenomenal placement as well.
You can tell that was really something that they scouted heavily and practiced a lot coming into this matchup, and noticed something about North Lamar to where they could do those cross-court kills and take advantage of some points with it.
Yeah, they've gone to that spot a number of times, and not just going cross-court, but just that particular area.
Good job there by Chris Malone to get that one.
It'll be Landry Spencer to serve. Rowden. And that is something impressive. I mean, it's not really a spectacular setup, but she gets the right trajectory, a good swing, and just hard to handle for North Lamar. And Pleasant Grove now approaching that 25-point mark.
Really good job there by Bemke.
Absolutely. Spencer sets up outside Malone, and someone in the net. It'll go over to the Pantherettes. Malone continuing her service.
Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness.
And like I said in the pregame, that's why I called her butter the first time that I got to see her play. Is they're like, okay, well, North Lamar's kind of inching closer.
Yeah.
Let's get the serve back. Set up Rowden.
Well, and that also starts with that first kill that she had of the game where she looks like she's going to kill it and then just taps it over. And so it's all kind of mind games and how you play, and notice how they play in different ways.
And you notice where Haynard tried to go right there to that spot. And Pleasant Grove, 4 hits. North Lamar, they did a good job of handling the big swing from Alexa Lane. Just couldn't quite find a way to get it back over the net.
Yeah, the freshman Ariana receiving that one with one hand. That's pretty impressive in itself.
Now set, Haynard, and again, you see where they're going. Lane on the other side, and it'll be a North Lamar point.
Good job there getting up there was Rowden, but time was just slightly off, and Lane ends up finding that gap.
Stewart with a knuckleball of a serve, and Haynard, really nice hit. Just a great job defensively from North Lamar, and look who it is, Rowden to finish it off.
I think the girls on the block there from North Lamar were a little bit too caught up in their block and how it ended up back on the other side. End up not setting it up really and only hitting it back over there in 2.
Conclusion to the first set coming up right here on Game Day.
Tired of banking fees and complicated accounts? With State Bank's My Free Checking account, enjoy no minimum balance and 0 monthly fees. Get a free gift just for opening your checking account, because we believe banking should be rewarding. Great for personal accounts and businesses too.
And back here on Game Day with a 23-20 first set lead for Pleasant Grove, and it'll be Rowden to serve. Trying to close this out. North Lamar trying to extend it. And when they try to extend it, they go right to Alexa Lane, but blocked at the net by Pleasant Grove. Ariana passes forward. Haynard, gets it to fall.
And that started with a weird tip at the net, but even then it landed right in the perfect spot there for the Lady Hawks, and now 1 point away from taking this first set.
Set up, and that is just a wonderful short set from Spencer. You know, sometimes you want to give your outside hitter or middle blocker, whoever it may be, time to run up and get a good jump and swing. Sometimes you just want that ball to barely float above the net. As Nelson sends it, Bemke receives, and a swing on the other side. And they're going to say just out.
It was a really good job, and kind of that same idea that they've had all game, just from the opposite side there.
Nelson, and that's how the first set will end. 25-22, we'll switch sides. We'll do it again. 1-0, Pleasant Grove with the lead here on Game Day.
For over 20 years, Hoover Stone & Stucco has been building and restoring exteriors that last. And now that same expert knowledge powers Hoover Soft Wash. We understand how stone, stucco, brick, and siding are built, so we know exactly how to clean them the right way. No high-pressure damage, just safe, professional soft washing that protects your home or business. Trust the team that knows exteriors inside and out. Hoover Stone & Stucco, Hoover Soft Wash. Experience built in.
Josh Urette, project manager with 2B Builders. We're a local GC here in Texarkana. We have Lone Star out here doing our heating and AC. They do a good job for us. We really appreciate the customer service that they provide. I know that at Lone Star Heating and Air, I can always call Matt or Dave, their head commercial HVAC guy, and they will always pick up the phone when I need them. And that's a big thing when we're working out here on these commercial projects. Usually when we're in a bind, we need something and we need it pretty quickly, and we can rely on Lone Star for that.
Braving fajitas but short on time? That's not a problem. Just give us a call and place your order, and we will have them ready for you with no lines or waiting. With same ingredients and the same freshness every day. If life moves fast, so do we. No time to waste. Satisfy your cravings today.
And back here on game day as Pleasant Grove takes the first set, and we're getting ready for set number 2 here in Texarkana at Pleasant Grove High School. Stephen Johnston, Zach Doty bringing you the action, 14-4A district play. And Doty, you know, that one goes 25-22. We expected it to be that close.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a very important game, and our really good ace there by the Lady Hawks. A difficult serve there by Bimke, so really good job there by them. They started out hot in that first set too, and I think that was kind of the momentum that led them the rest of the way.
And Bimke this time sent forward. Nelson sets up Spencer, handled really well by the front line of the Lady Hawks. And now North Lamar had to fight a little bit to get that one back. And this one just a little bit long from Byrne. We're knotted up at 1 here early in the second set. And it'll be Spencer to serve. Back set going to McBride on the other end. And a wonderful job saving it. Did they get that over? They do. And then once again, trouble at the net. Pleasant Grove just has so much length back there. Fighting in the net to get that one back over. Great job by Rowden. And then Webster kills it and ends the rally. Phenomenal job defensively by both sides there, and then Webster just got the perfect ball over the net. Gets a good swing, and North Lamar with an early 2-1 lead.
Miley Cook and Riley Byrne doing a great job there on that side for the Lady Hawks, trying to save it anywhere they could. North Lamar takes advantage of the rally, though.
Spencer, and they set up Rowden, nothing you can do.
And that's the perfect way to answer right there. After a tough, long rally and you end up losing that point, it can be kind of demoralizing in a way. And so to come back there and have that weapon in Rowden who can just kind of change the trajectory of this game, I mean.
You get that morale back quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
Curtis sends it over for North Lamar, and just kind of having to bump it is Walker. They set up Webster again in the middle. So she gets a couple of kills. You know, this is something that Coach Finley had talked to me about, is wanting to set the middle a little bit. Obviously, Alexa Lane is their go-to, but they felt like they had some in the middle that they could take advantage of with Webster and Rangel. And then an ace from North Lamar as they back row of Pleasant Grove elected to watch that one, and it just catches in. And then kind of a screwball from Curtis.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a shorter serve. It makes it really tough. I mean, the back line, because you pair those two serves in a row with each other to the back line, and then that one's short, it makes it really difficult.
Pleasant Grove rotates to adjust. And they set up Walker. Walker finding the open space.
I think that was a much-needed point there for PG. A lot of miscommunication and kind of just mistiming of things so far to begin this set. As far as, the back line there with that short serve, kind of miscommunication at the net. And there was even a little bit of there in that point. Walker was able to take advantage of it, though, and get a point out of it no matter what.
Ariana serving for Pleasant Grove. And then a big swing from Nelson, the freshman. And every night she is the smallest girl on the court. And then she gets a set, and you get to see her jump and fly, and, man, she's a good athlete.
Yeah, with all this height, you wouldn't expect her to be the outside hitter, but she's done a really good job so far tonight. And a beautiful shot there by the Lady Panthers to put that one right on the line.
Coach Colvin was saying maybe that was out, but the point will go over to North Lamar. Line official right there on it.
And so the Pleasant Grove back line already puts their bodies at an angle, as you can kind of see sometimes, is that they're already rotated to where they're going to receive it a certain way. And so if they take advantage of that and they hug that outside line behind, like, say, Hennard is right now, it's going to be tough to receive it.
I think that's exactly what they were trying to do there. And this time, just touching it over is Rowden, and unable to handle it on the other end for North Lamar.
Another one of those cross-court hits, and that one probably would have gone out, but, I mean, it was just a little bit too close, and you had to play it weird.
Kara Colvins, junior middle blocker, rotating in for Pleasant Grove. And this one going just a little long.
Incredible court awareness there by Jayla Rowden to recognize that one was going to go out.
Yeah, no one would blame you if you decided to play that one. But she took a long look at it. Yeah, and that's a dangerous ball bumped up by Alexa Lane, and it hangs in the air, comes right over the net, out of reach for North Lamar, but just in the perfect space for Pleasant Grove to kill it. Set up, Lane, big swing, but fought off by Rowden. And that's just a wonderful defensive play. Cross-court set.
Goes to Hennard on the other side. A really good job there by the Lady Hawks to fight through that one.
And just as we talked about North Lamar kind of having to battle back after an early deficit in that first set, you're seeing the same thing from Pleasant Grove. As Rowden has been serving for a few points here. Walker put a nice swing on it, handled well by the North Lamar Pantherettes. And Stewart will send it back over. And they set up Hennard and blocked Rangel and Nelson there.
A beautiful job, and that's the tough thing about trying to set it up full court across the side, is that they're able to kind of recognize it a little bit sooner, and so the girls were able to rotate over there and block Hennard earlier.
And this time blocked by the net monster is Giesland. And service will go back over to Pleasant Grove with Maggie Prigine, senior setter, doing the honors. Fought off high on the arms. Spencer. And this one goes well long. Easy call for Pleasant Grove to let that one go. Knotted up at 9 here in the second set. Pleasant Grove with a 1-set lead. And this time easily dumped over.
Yeah, another one of those kind of like what we saw from North Lamar on that serve, where it's just short, they have to play it tough. And she had to dig it out to where it ended up going on to the other side.
Alexa Lane, yeah. What do you do?
That was a beautifully set ball. That ball was put right at the net to where Pleasant Grove really couldn't block it because they would have almost been reaching over if they had to. So Alexa Lane just throws that one down and does an incredible job of it.
And by the way, the official who's on the stand here that you see, Landon Johnson, longtime football coach in the state of Texas. As a matter of fact, he was one of my football coaches
Really?
when I was in high school. Yeah, I had
Okay.
the opportunity to go shake his hand and ask him how he and his wife and family are doing. And so good to see Coach Johnson out here. He said he's been officiating volleyball for about 3 years now. As this one goes just long.
See Miley Cook check back in for Hennard after selling that one long. Even score at 11 now here in this second set.
Ava Rangel to serve for North Lamar. And a great job from Cook. As that ball was dying on the service, and she comes in sliding, gets it back over, and Pleasant Grove gets the point.
And that was a beautifully hit ball in a dead area where nobody really could have a play on it. It would have landed fair anyway, but it was just hit out of bounds, trying to make a play on it.
On the other side, Webster down the line gets it.
Really good job by her attacking the outside on her side instead of trying to cross the court as much as we've seen Pleasant Grove so far.
So Spencer, once again to serve. Pass forward, set up, and a great job by Byrne. You know, we talk a lot about Rowden, rightfully so. She deserves every positive word said about her, but you know, how many times have we mentioned Byrne, Walker, Hennard? They go pretty deep, and they have a lot of length on that front row. Webster, and a great job by Cook. And there it is, Byrne with a big swing and falls between North Lamar and the net.
And going back to that last point, I think that's exactly how you would draw it up if you could every time. A beautiful full reception by Miley Cook to put it right at the net. They set it up right at midcourt to slam it down. So tough.
Yeah, I mean, I do think, you know, Alexa Lane probably has a chance there, but that ball is coming hot, man.
I think her body was pulling her the other way as well, as she was expecting it to go more towards that corner than she was the middle.
And now North Lamar just going to have to send it.
Really good job to receive that one.
Really good job by Nelson, but defensively Walker. And then Walker tried to send it down the length of the net, couldn't quite get the right angle on it.
Just kind of mistimed the ball and kind of how it was coming to her. Ended up catching it off of her palm a little bit more.
Good serve from Spencer. Good job defensively from Pleasant Grove. Set up, Lane, big swing. There's Cook. Can't quite get it back over, but I tell you what, obviously kills and, you know, big hits and everything, that's what everybody loves to see, but Cook has been so good defensively in this set, and I think that's a big reason why Pleasant Grove has been able to fight their way back into this and also have a lead.
Another really good job to recognize that that ball was going out.
That one was close.
That's a really tough one. Right there in that corner, the linesman right there on it. So good job by him.
Ariana, the freshman for Pleasant Grove. Set up for Lane. She'll push it over. Walker. This lands in.
And I think that's something else now that Coach Colvins has recognized, that that back line is playing up a little bit close, and so they're wanting to take advantage of the back, of trying to push in on that back line now instead of trying to cross the court as much. And so it's just recognizing game, seeing how they're adjusting and making those adjustments throughout the game to give your team success.
Spencer sets up Nelson. On the other side, Haynard. And with the touch, It'll go over to PG. And this is kind of that range where, you know, 4-point deficit is not the end of the world, but you approach that 20-point mark, the margin for error certainly gets tighter. And Ariana slams it into the net. It'll go over to North Lamar.
And that's a huge way to change momentum right there for North Lamar. You finally see something go in the favor of you and of your way. You have things going in the right direction. You see another point added to your total. Just little things like that can spark a big run.
Stewart. And couldn't really tell if it was the double block or if it got in the net. But either way, you see what Pleasant Grove does. Okay, we gave away a point. Let's just go get it back. Yeah. Let's not overthink this situation here. And they do it again. North Lamar handles it beautifully as Lane pushes it into no man's land.
Yeah, another tough job. I mean, Henner was having to try to save that one off of the block and ends up going out of the reach of Bimke.
Now Lily Stewart, that's a really nice serve and a really great job by Bimke. And then a really, I mean, everybody did everything right for both sides. You're looking at Haynard, a good swing, a great double block on the outside from North Lamar, and we've got a tie match here in the second set, and then just a very empty space, easy to recognize and dump that one. And timeout as North Lamar regains the lead 19-18 here in the second set. We'll be right back on Game Day. Back here on Game Day out of the timeout. We've gone a little bit back and forth here in this second set. North Lamar jumped out to a nice lead, had it 8-3, and there's Pleasant Grove fighting off a really nice serve. And then just kind of standing, looking, and point's gonna go over to Pleasant Grove. So PG, after that 8-3 deficit, they come roaring back. End up with an 18-14 lead, and as you see now, tied up at 19. Set to Lane. She'll have to push it. Haynard again, just recognizing where people are not for North Lamar, and she does that as well as anybody on the court here tonight. They'll set up Lane. She'll have to push over. They want to give her another shot at a big swing, and it's blocked at the net. Colvins along with Walker.
And that's huge right there to kind of stop their ace. I mean, they kind of had the same thing on the other side with Jayla whenever they needed a point big time from her. And so to kind of be able to stifle her there was huge.
Timeout. We'll be right back on Game Day.
Texarkana, it's game day and Lost Pizza is ready to feed the fans. From thick crust to thin, we make our dough fresh every single day and top it with all the flavors your crew loves. We are locally owned, locally operated, and proud to support our community in everything we do, from school spirit nights to hometown fundraisers. Dine in, take out, or order online. We're always ready for kickoff. Lost Pizza Company, Texarkana, fueling game day the local way.
Back here on Game Day following the timeout. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in. If you're watching on Facebook, be sure to give it a share so that the community can know where they can watch wherever you're watching. Paris Game Day, Texarkana Game Day. As Alexa Lane One-hand dump over the net, and Pleasant Grove comes right back with a big swing. Rowden will send it forward outside the standard. It'll go point to North Lamar.
Really good job by both coaches to recognize when those timeouts were needed to be taken. And I think both of them have really kind of shaped momentum back in their favor after killing some runs.
And this one kind of riding along the net. And both teams kind of having to fight on top of the net. Now Lane trying a placement, but a great job by Haynard, and then Walker. This one popped way up. And you can see Alexa Lane just trying to find the placement, and it ends up being Pleasant Grove on the empty spot on the floor.
That's been the biggest thing to me this set, is that they haven't been able to quite set up Alexa Lane to be able to get that huge kill like she was in the first set.
Progene set, and when they do, it's been handled pretty well at the net by Pleasant Grove. Meanwhile, same situation, other side of the book, and the point goes over to the Pantherettes.
A really good job, again, recognizing that full cross-court setup, and they just did exactly what they needed to block it.
We've had some really pretty epic double blocks here so far in the first two sets of this match, as Curtis shoots one over. Ariana, the freshman, handles it. And this one, and Rangel tried to touch it up, and that ball just kind of ends up in no man's land.
I don't know about for you, but that one didn't even look like it went over the net from my angle.
I didn't think so either.
It looked so weird coming off of McBride's hand, but it just barely grazed over and ended up falling.
North Lamar just going to have to punch this one over as Bemke returns. And there's another double block.
Wow.
Yeah, that time Byrne. And a timeout, 24-21. Pleasant Grove on the verge of a 2-0 set lead here in the second set. We'll be right back on Game Day.
Diamond Bank walks with its customers through every step of life, side by side. From the first checking account in high school to the first home or business loan, Diamond Bank is committed to helping you with all of your financial needs. Diamond Bank's growth is the result of the growth of our customers, and we want to help you feel that same growth. We are proud to have the ability to give back to our local school districts, community organizations, veterans, customers, and more in a multitude of ways. Come discover the Diamond Bank difference with local people making local decisions for our local community. Stop by our current location in Texarkana at 5714 Richmond Road, or visit us online at www.diamond.bank to see our products and services. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
Out of the timeout. Serve goes long from Haynard. And back over to North Lamar, Rangel. She'll be at the service line. And the Pantherettes needing a couple of points to extend this thing out. And there's one.
Go ahead.
The way the first set ended, you know, similar score, and North Lamar just kind of drills one into the net, and an error to give Pleasant Grove that first set win. And now it looks like we have a timeout from Pleasant Grove.
Another timeout. Let's just stay here for this one. Just kind of talk about some things, since, you know, we're getting pretty close to the set end anyway. Do want to remind everybody that 2 points, isn't it? You have to win by 2, right, to complete the set. 24-23 in favor of the Hawks.
Yeah, and so to finish that thought, you know, for North Lamar, you're going back and forth, really tight. The last thing you want to do is for the set to end on an error, on a self-inflicted wound. And so you could see on that last serve, really easy. We're nothing fancy about it. We're just going to send it over and play volleyball. So I think that that's the right approach. And if you can get another point to even it up, then you can maybe go back to a serve that, you're trying to get that ace.
And it could be like icing the kicker in this situation as well. Ice the kicker, put him in a tough place with the serve and see what happens.
And so there it is, just the simple serve. Spencer to Nelson. Curtis handled very well by Pleasant Grove, and that time McBride puts the finishing touches on this one. 25-23. We will head to the third set as North Lamar trails 2-0. Pleasant Grove leads here on game day.
My name is Doug Willett. I own M&M Tire and Auto Center. We've been here for over 40 years. We're just a mom and pop place. We service any type of vehicle that you can think of. We do front end alignments. We got the best front end alignment machine guys here, and we also do AC work for the new Freon, which is the 1234 FY. We do that too. Plus tires. Now that's the major thing. Cooper Tire employees, we're really special with them. We give you 15% off, plus also you get your Goodyear employee refunds back on your tires, which is great for you. Extra value is what you get when you buy from Doug Willett. Don't worry, my guys will take care of you too.
Hello everyone, I'm Jason with Golden Corral in Texarkana. I've got big cheers going out to Lone Star Heating and Air. I talked with Matt Shirley over at Lone Star Heating and Air. They actually came out, looked to see what we needed. They ordered the supplies or the equipment and everything. They came in and they did the install. They did 2 units in one day with no business disruptions whatsoever. Thanks to Lone Star Heating and Air, we got our air up and going and everything's running good.
Meet Tony Langford Roofing, your trusted name in roofing solutions. Decades of experience and top-notch service. Passionate about your home safety, we treat every roof like our own. From repairs to full installations, we've got your home covered. Upgrade your roof with our variety of styles and materials. For roofs that last long, choose Tony Langford Roofing. We've got you covered.
Set number 3 incoming from Texarkana. We're at Pleasant Grove High School, home of the Hawks and Lady Hawks. Stephen Johnston, Zach Doty bringing you this District 14 4A matchup. And the North Lamar Pantherettes in danger of falling to 3-2, whereas the Pleasant Grove Lady Hawks looking to move to 4-1 and keeping pace with district leading Sulphur Springs, as this will wrap up the first half of district play. And that's pretty significant for North Lamar as Spencer gets it going. A great serve to start things out, because North Lamar on Friday will be at home against Sulphur Springs. So you start out 3-1, and then next thing you know, you don't want to end up 500. Meanwhile, Pleasant Grove 3-1, they look to go to 4-1, and then they will be at home against the Paris Lady Cats on Friday. But I assure you, North Lamar not planning on going quietly as they open up with a 2-0 lead here in the third set.
Yeah, an incredible way to start. Really good momentum there on that first point. End up getting that one in front of the blockers right there at the net.
Spencer. And they go outside to McBride. And then the freshman Nelson. That ball got over, got past that front line, and then died in the middle of the court.
And if you're PG here, you don't want to get complacent. You know, you have a 2-0 set lead, but you don't want to take advantage of that and let North Lamar get back. They are a really tough and scrappy team. You don't want to see anything crazy happen, but then there you see they go to their person that they can rely on the most there in Jayla Rowden.
And Rowden, you know, it wasn't a set where she gets to really get up and extend and get a big swing. She just has that natural power. And for North Lamar, they're just going to have to send it over.
Great kill there by Walker. Ends up making it tough on the reception. Ends up knocking it up into the visitor stands here.
Yeah, you never know when you're going to get in the action. So McBride to serve. Lane handles it. They set up outside. And then kind of a in-between ball and a little miscommunication.
And that's the toughest part about blocks there at the net is, oh no, what do we do now? Like, we weren't expecting the ball to come back to us. Like, and so you have to kind of figure out how it plays off of that bounce and what you do after that.
Yeah, and those, oh, they're going to say this one fell in.
Yeah, that was a beautifully threaded ball there.
You know, those blocks at the net, there is very little to zero chance that you'll be able to anticipate where that ball is going to end up. And so sometimes it's your best friend, sometimes it's your worst enemy. And there's a friend Pleasant Grove very familiar with, Jayla Rowden.
I want to go back and make sure that we credit Ellen Nelson there on that last point. An incredible job to hit that cross court, placed it perfectly on this outside line.
Yeah, and, you know, we've mentioned it earlier in the broadcast that Ella Nelson is going to be the most unassuming person on the team with her size. And then you see a play like that, a kill like she just had, and you're just like, where does the vertical ability come from? Where does the power come from? But she's a very compact player and is going to be for quite some time for North Lamar as the net monster earns a point for the Pantherettes.
And that's kind of been Pleasant Grove's weak point so far in this one, is just having a couple of services where they've been able to get nothing out of it. And so it's been a little bit tough there.
Setting up Rowden and double blocked at the net.
Does sail out though.
Yeah. And they had it that, you know, kind of, we did the best we could.
Yeah. A great job there by Alexa Lane to get over there.
And Ava Rangel.
Like we talked about.
And there's Alexa Lane just putting the ball in a spot it needed to be, and Pleasant Grove unable to fight it back over.
Yeah, I think Jayla was expecting that one more towards the back line, a little bit more power off of it, and ended up having to come up more to receive it.
Ariana passes forward, and Haynard sends it over. Great job defensively.
Ooh.
Sent to the front, Haynard. Yeah, we've seen a couple of times North Lamar earns the point, but we did see again where you have two players kind of not communicating great for the ball. Fortunately for North Lamar, it ended up ultimately in their favor. Back set. Lane keeps it alive. Excuse me, that was Rangel. Lane sends it over. Spencer tried to go to the other side, and now here's Haynard. Yeah, just put it right there in the middle.
And that point all starts with Walker on the opposite side receiving it and bringing it back in for the Lady Hawks, and really good job there by Haynard to recognize where that ball should be.
Pregine, soft serve, made it difficult on Stewart, but she handles it. And then this one just sails long. You can kind of tell the rotation of the ball. That one was going to hang up.
Yeah, Colvin's just kind of didn't quite get a great read on it and its timing and just play it off of it weird.
Set. Colvin's wanting it back. And this one ends up out and going North Lamar's way.
Feels like that's kind of been Colvin's issue a little bit there at the net most of tonight whenever she's trying to hit it back over. We saw it there twice in a row where she's just not quite getting as much as she can off of that ball.
Well, that was certainly the case there. Hannard, I'm not sure entirely what happened. Maybe just mistimed the jump. As we'll see Sophie Price, junior outside hitter and defensive specialist. She'll be on the outside here. Setting up Price, getting the opportunity. Bemke. Stewart bumps, and there's Spencer. Center court, back line. Timeout. Pleasant Grove. North Lamar with an 11-7 lead. Pleasant Grove leading 2-0 here on game day.
Hi, I'm Jay Strickland, second generation master electrician. This is our team here at Livewire Electrical Services. Your safety is our top priority. That's why with every service call, we do a visual safety inspection for our customers, because small things can turn into big problems if left unchecked. We also offer a Safety and Savings membership plan, which gives you priority booking service, discounts, and an annual safety inspection of your home to make sure your home is protected year-round. We're proud to have been voted Best Electrician in Texarkana for the last 3 years by the Reader's Vault magazine. We have a 4.9 Google rating with over 270 5-star reviews because Texarkana trusts us to get the job done right. So give us a call today and experience the difference, because your home safety starts with us.
Alexa Lane to serve out of the timeout. Short serve gets over the net. And then Ariana just a bit long. And Lane having to wait on the official to give the word, and they'll set back to Price, and I don't know that she was expecting it to come her way. Lane puts a little something behind that one, and a job well done by Pleasant Grove, but North Lamar defensively, and then Bemke defensively. And check out this rally. Is this one just out of bounds, man. There were some hard hit balls that time and some great digs. And the point ends up being a ball that's hit kind of soft. It just couldn't keep it in play.
Yeah, they're going to call a lift there on Colvins. She was just trying to get it up and over. Held on a little bit too hard there.
And this time, going out on the serve, it'll go over to the Pleasant Grove Lady Hawks. But North Lamar extended out what is their biggest lead of the night. I guess technically it was 15-7 now that it's 15-8, but nonetheless. And a great job there by McBride. Good power on the swing and finding the open space.
I think getting that last point there was really huge for PG to really stop that run and kind of refocus themselves. They're starting to get more of their normal rotation and starting rotation that they have out there, and so look for them to start bouncing back.
Bemke, man, that is steady. It goes out, but you just see the body language and how she controls herself. That was a really, really great job. It does go over to North Lamar, but you couldn't teach it any better than the technique she used. As Rangel set up, McBride, yes, got it to go.
Beautifully placed. It lands right there on the line. A really good job there by McBride to notice that opening over there and take advantage of it. Really good job there by Pleasant Grove.
Line judge right on top of it and a little emphatic, pointing that flag down to let them know, yeah, saw it. And this time on the double block, ends up out of bounds, point towards North Lamar. And, you know, usually you say, okay, you're down 7, you can't trade points. With a 2-set lead, you have some margin for error, as we have a timeout here, but Pleasant Grove not interested in that. They want to close it out now here on game day.
Texarkana College is a great place to start your future. Be workforce ready in 2 years or less, or start college and high school with dual credit. Texarkana College, a great place to start or start over.
And back here on game day, 17-10, North Lamar with the advantage in this third set. Trying to keep the night alive and go to a fourth with Pleasant Grove leading 2-0. It'll be Spencer to serve. And good job there waiting on that ball. Great patience at the net by Pleasant Grove. And let's say, yeah, they're going to say this one fell in.
That same line judge making another emphatic call there on the line, and it was a good call as well.
So Spencer back to it. Nelson puts on a big swing, and this one catches the corner. Lacey Webster literally picking up Ella Nelson to give her a hug. And you mentioned, you know, for Pleasant Grove, you can't get complacent. You know, you want to go out there and go ahead and finish the night out if you're able to. And North Lamar on the other side, knowing that, you know, this is do or die time. And so you're either going to come out and play your best volleyball as Alexa Lane gets the kill there, you know, or the pressure gets to you. And for North Lamar, they've done a phenomenal job here in this third set. Spencer with the service. Bemke set up outside to McBride. Blocked at the net. Stewart and Nelson with a hit back over for North Lamar. Pleasant Grove really nice touch there from Byrne, but Stewart was there defensively, and then after all of that, you just kind of drill it into the net.
And I think that was big, and Pergine comes out now for Walker, and Pergine was in there for most of this set now, and so to get her some rest is going to be big. Bring in fresh legs, and Walker kind of resets the tone for Pleasant Grove now as they're down big. And as you see her there with Rowden there at the net, gets that block, makes it now 20-12.
And so this thing, you know, not in the bag by any stretch of the imagination for North Lamar. You know, you got to be able to close, and there's Webster. She'll help do the job.
It's really been a thing of beauty from her so far this set. I believe that's 3 or 4 perfectly placed balls now in this set.
So Malone to serve for North Lamar. Bemke and Walker will send it back over, and it's out.
Just kind of another thing of miscommunication there for the Lady Hawks, with Walker and Miley Cook not really on the same page. Another tough serve.
Webster pops it up so that North Lamar could send it back over, riding the net. And the Lady Hawks push it back to the Pantherettes. Set up, Lane, big swing, down the line, got it.
And that was exactly what they needed when they needed her the most. I mean, she's been very quiet this set. I don't think we've seen really a kill from her like that since the first set. And so to be able to have that back from her and kind of bring in that weapon here at the end of this one to try to close it out is massive.
Set up from McBride, and you know, I get this question. I hear this question often when you have a player like Rowden. Why don't you just set her up every single?
Yeah,
you know,
exactly. Well, and I was kind of thinking that myself with Lane. Was just like, why don't they just set it up for her to kill every time instead of doing this? But I mean, there's always reasoning for everything.
Lane got a little bit of a running start, but defensively handled by Ariana. Nelson now back the other side, and look at the craftiness. You could see every North Lamar player bracing for a big swing, and Rowden metaphorically lays down a bunt.
Yeah, and I think part of that was she misplayed it in the air with timing and then just made something incredible out of it. I mean, that's what makes her so special.
And this one going long. North Lamar on the verge, but with a team like Pleasant Grove and players like Rowden, you've also got Hennard on the floor. You know, they can certainly do some damage. Lane can too, but great job blocking at the net. Here's Walker. And there's Hennard again. You know, we talk about, yeah, she can put a swing on it, but she's so crafty and understands the defensive alignment that she's hitting into.
Well, and so we've talked so much about what they've done throughout the game. In that first set, it was attacking cross court. Second set, it was attacking the back line. North Lamar adjusted, and now they're attacking the middle.
And they watch this one fly long, and now North Lamar looking to send this one to a fourth set with Stewart at the service line. Keeping it safe on the serve. And Rowden, great job by Lane and Rangel at the net. With the double block, that's how this one ends. We'll head to set number 4. Pleasant Grove still with the 2-1 advantage here on game day.
At Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital, we provide fast and compassionate emergency care for all ages. From cardiology to pediatric to outpatient imaging, our board-certified physicians are dedicated to exceptional care when you need it most. Our on-site laboratory offers full diagnostic testing, including MRIs, X-rays, CT scans, and ultrasounds, allowing for comprehensive care in one location. Conveniently located off Calhoun Creek Road, open 24/7, we're ready to help you feel better faster. Visit TexarkanaEmergencyCenter.com today.
Start your day with seamless transactions. Add your State Bank card to your device's digital wallet and enjoy the convenience of tap-and-go payments. Easy, secure, and thankfully at your fingertips. Simplify your day with State Bank's digital wallet. Your family, your bank, State Bank.
My name is Cedric Harris. I'm here with Swing Lab Baseball Academy on behalf of Randall Glass. We're excited to add to the fabric of this strong baseball community. We're proud to have used Lone Star Heating and Air as our HVAC provider. Lone Star aligns well with our core values of it being a locally owned family business. We know that we're in good hands with Lone Star due to their reliability and expertise, the quality equipment, and the ease of communication in case any breakdowns happen. We know that we'll be able to get things taken care of.
So today we're here at Swing Lab. We just want to let everyone know that we do commercial projects and we'd be glad to help you out. We do offer preventative maintenance programs as well. We've invested in a nice mobile trailer. We can do your rooftop units, your ground units, whatever you may need. So in the future, if you need anything, please give us a call at Lone Star Heating and Air. We would be glad to take care of all your heating and cooling needs.
And we're back for set number 4 here in Texarkana, Pleasant Grove High School, where the Pleasant Grove Lady Hawks hoping to close this thing out in 4. The North Lamar Pantherettes hoping to send it to the 15-point 5th set. It went PG 25-22, PG 25-23. North Lamar got out to a large lead to open up that 3rd set. They end up winning it 25-16. Stephen Johnston, Zach Doty bringing you the action here tonight. And Doty, it's a lot of fun calling a game with you. Enjoying it here in Texarkana. Of course, Pleasant Grove has some incredible facilities, including this gym. I love how you can go out to the concession stand. Line's a little long, no problem. Just turn around, you can see right out onto the court.
It was really nice to have the Pleasant Grove we have the Pleasant Grove cheerleaders here with us tonight, and so been a really good atmosphere, and they've done a great job in between sets and in timeouts, and so very appreciative of the cheer squad coming out, national champions last year, and so looking to defend that title this year.
National
champions.
It says state is not enough. And right out of the gate, North Lamar, they get it back over, had a little trouble, and setting up Rowden just pushes it over that front double block and finds the floor for a 1-0 Pleasant Grove lead early on.
That was a really good job by Rowden. I think a lot of the Pantherettes were expecting that one to end up with Byrne on the other side of the court, and Rowden just took over it with herself, and we get an ace there by the Lady Hawks to quickly make it 2-0.
Yeah, McBride, I mean, that serve, this one goes into the net. The previous one, I mean, that ball had 0 rotation on it. It was, you know, it's difficult to tell up here where we're sitting, but whenever you see that one coming your way, it's just so difficult to handle. Ask any baseball player who's trying to hit a knuckleball as Rowden sends this one long.
She had the right idea with that one, putting in that one in the back corner where nobody was, but just sailed it a little bit long. But something that I want to point out is that every single set so far, the team that scores first has won that set. And so we'll see if that remains the case here with the Lady Hawks as they took that first point.
Back set, yeah. Great swing from Walker.
Again, a game of adjustments. They attacked that back line in the second set, started pushing up towards the middle there in the third. You see her attack that back line a little bit more here to begin the fourth.
And that's also positioning Rowden there in the middle. What can make it so difficult is she gets the block big time. I mean, just one-on-one, a lot of double blocks set, but that time Rowden just going up against Webster, and Rowden wins it. But when you have a girl like Rowden in the middle and the set is clearly coming, you tend to lean that way. And so those first initial steps can be critical in how your defensive alignment plays that ball. As this one's going to go far, and Pleasant Grove with an early 5-2 lead.
Yeah, that one just set up tough on the outside. She ended up timing it a little bit weird as well, jumping a little bit early, had to swing hard.
Ariana just tipped over by Spencer and might have got on the net. And that's a point over to PG. Once again, serve with no rotation, just so tough, and this one flies long. North Lamar wanted a touch on it. And instead, Coach Finley will take a timeout. 7-2 early on in the fourth set. Pleasant Grove looking to close this one out here on game day. Back after the timeout, it'll be Ariana once again, the freshman for Pleasant Grove, to serve, with her Lady Hawks leading 7-2 here in the early goings of set number 4. Pleasant Grove leading 2-1. And this one's going to go long from Malone. Extending that lead out 8-2. And if you're North Lamar, from the mental aspect, you can't let this lead stretch out too much. As Ariana to serve, and she does a great job of keeping that serve difficult with no rotation on the ball, and this one's gonna fall for Pleasant Grove. Because being down 2-1 makes it incredibly difficult to mentally stay in the game from just that aggressive standpoint. If they get too much of a lead, if Pleasant Grove gets too much of a lead, and you almost feel like the game is slipping away, you start playing to not lose necessarily.
And I think that was the point of the timeout there so early in the set as well. And it's just been kind of some tough serves that have made it really difficult as you see 3 points there in a row since that timeout. And it's just made it really difficult. And I think the huge thing there is that Ariana has really kind of struggled with her serves this entire game so far, and to really find it here in this set and capitalize on some points, I think is massive for the Lady Hawks. Oh my gosh, another ace right there. Beautiful.
Yeah, and that one, defensively for North Lamar, it's just difficult to communicate at that point who takes that ball. She goes to the other side. Alexa Lane leaves it right over the net, and Walker finishes it off.
Her serves have just been so difficult. She's put it in so many different places each time, and it causes another timeout now from North Lamar as they're down 10 here in the fourth set.
And we'll be right back here on Game Day. Back here on Game Day, and the Pleasant Grove Lady Hawks feeling good about where they're at here in the fourth set, leading 2-1 and up 12-2, as a lot of that has come here with Ariana serving. This one long, and that mentioned she'd had some issues. That had been the problem, is serving long, but Pleasant Grove reeled off 5-6 points while she was at the service line.
And I think that was the hope out of the coach from North Lamar there, to kind of get that timeout, get her out of her rhythm, and see what happens.
Walker sends it over. Spencer to Stewart. And good swing, but positioned well. Stewart. And Pleasant Grove able to save this rally there. That is impressive. Here's Webster. And once again, PG just fighting defensively and ends up with the point in a rally where North Lamar could have maybe had a couple, but because of the defensive effort, it goes over to Pleasant Grove, and it'll be Rowden to serve.
Really good job there by McBride to keep that one in play, and then they end up sending it back over and take advantage of it.
Now that one's difficult to handle as Giesland puts a big swing on it for the kill.
And she really has some good height as well. You want her to work more on the outside as well with Lane and see kind of what they can have going as they pick up 2 points in a row now.
Back set, Walker sent back her way, and it'll go over to North Lamar. And this is, if you're North Lamar, if you're Coach Finley, you know, this is a point in the game where you show your best fight. You know, you got down big. Can you rally back to make this set a contest? And they're showing they quite possibly can with Alexa Lane, Ava Rangel on the double block.
And Lane just plays with so much emotion. Like, I think she could really be the big swing there. And so getting that block, getting her fired up can really fire the team up. You get an ace there. I mean, just the little things like this can really be a big turning point.
And now a timeout for Pleasant Grove. And I think that's a well-timed timeout. We'll be right back here on Game Day.
For over 20 years, Hoover Stone and Stucco has been building and restoring exteriors that last. And now that same expert knowledge powers Hoover Soft Wash. We understand how stone, stucco, brick, and siding are built, so we know exactly how to clean them the right way. No high-pressure damage, just safe, professional soft washing that protects your home or business. Trust the team that knows exteriors inside and out. Hoover Stone and Stucco, Hoover Soft Wash. Experience built in.
And out of the timeout, it is Lily Stewart, the libero, senior for North Lamar, at the service line. And North Lamar, and it was starting to get ugly, and a really well-timed timeout by North Lamar. And then they start rallying back a little bit, and a well-called timeout from Pleasant Grove, and you get a big kill to kind of shift this back towards PG.
Yeah, Henner did exactly what she needed to there, putting it on the back line and really changing things quickly there after that was beautifully set up by the Lady Hawks. Really good job there by the Pantherettes.
Yeah, saving that one as it crawled into the net. And then a very heads-up play from Alexa Lane, seeing there was only one girl on the back line, and she just sent it back there, and Bemke made an effort. And the Pantherettes creeping, hanging around here.
Lane tried to do it again.
Stewart. And that's a really nice hit and a really good return. Spencer doing the heavy lifting there.
Definitely started working her outside more here in this fourth set. And she's gotten, I believe, 2 points now and they're in her favor that have gone really well.
So this will be Giesland. Cross-court set to McBride. Really great job by Curtis handling that heat. Set up. Colvin's trying to get the swing on it. And they'll go long to Haynard. And finally, this one ends with the ball going awry out of bounds. And a point kind of badly needed for Pleasant Grove there.
So Molly Cook will come in now. She's been a really good job on that back line for the Lady Hawks. Do lose Hennard, though, who got some big points there down that stretch.
Set to the back to Colvins and tried a little placement hit. Bemke will send it over. Set up by Giesland. Lane, big swing, and it finds its way back over. That was something unreal. Ooh. And then just a little miscommunication on the set. And that point goes over to North Lamar, but man, I'll tell you what, handling that swing from Alexa Lane, that's the kind of point you don't want to give away. And then Curtis, that ball just kind of drifted on Pleasant Grove. And this one, which was headed towards a blowout set, the Pantherettes are back in it. Lane with the serve. McBride. And she's able to find the floor, 16-11, and even though the momentum may be North Lamar's way, here comes Rowden back into the game, and any coach who wants to win a game at this point is, you know what they're going to be doing. When they have that opportunity, they will take it. Setting up Rowden. Here's Curtis, and there she is, standing tall at the net with Byrne, the double block.
She's just an all-around game changer when she's out there. Offensively, defensively, it doesn't matter. Whenever Jayla Rowden's on that court, she definitely makes her presence known.
On the other side, a big swing from Curtis. Pleasant Grove fights this one back over. And then I think that was Rangel getting the point for North Lamar.
Seemed like everybody's rotations were just a little bit off there as they were having to recoup that ball, and North Lamar did a good job of working fast there and setting that one up to get it back over.
Set up and killed by Byrne. And, you know, you got to know that whenever Rowden comes in that, you know, there's going to be some focus on her. So you set up the middle.
Well, we saw that same sort of play earlier with Rowden in the middle, and now that she was on the outside, I think they were expecting it to go back to her. Really good job there by Byrne to take control of it, though. Good dig there by Walker. Great dig there by Benke.
Just couldn't quite keep it off the floor, and Spencer earns the point. And now we're kind of, you know, we're getting to where we're trading points, and that's not a position that North Lamar can be in. They fought back, but, you know, you've got it to 4, then to 5, then to 4, then to 5, and, you know, the game's going to end pretty soon if you continue that, and here it comes. What can you do? Say a prayer, perhaps.
We'll see 2 new subs come in for Pleasant Grove. We'll see Hennard and Ariana check in. Ariana has the serve.
And I think that time Giesland is just kind of stuck in between a thought of that ball going long, and, you know, the more you think about it, the closer it's getting.
And like we talked about, Ariana had a little bit of struggles with sailing it long, and you kind of give her those, and she ends up coming back in the next serve and doing stuff like that, which we saw earlier in the game, which caused that huge rally by Pleasant Grove. So I mean, it's just those little things where you kind of let them keep going, you kind of let them get those points, and they end up taking advantage of it.
Now it's sophomore Avery Bennett coming in for North Lamar, as Ariana with the knuckleball. Man, that thing is moving something wicked. And now Ella Nelson coming back in for Giesland. And like you said, it's kind of been a little bit of all or nothing with Ariana. You know, maybe it's long, but when she's on a roll, she's been able to reel off 4, 5, 6 points for her team. Setting up Nelson. And then on the other side, great job by Stewart. Curtis.
Wow.
Perfect placement.
That was incredible. I mean,
Perfect placement.
It all started there with Bimke to keep that one in play. She was the only one on the back line. To be able to save that off of one hand was very impressive, and then a great job of McBride to understand that nobody was there on that back line. She pushed it perfectly and got it to fall in there. 23-13 now, Pleasant Grove.
Well, and going to Bimke, not only that, but with the one hand, keeping the ball in an area where it can be played by your teammates.
Good job by Rowden to recoup after the tip. She does it well, sets it up perfectly for Hennard. Lady Hawks 1 point away from taking this matchup against North Lamar.
Yeah, North Lamar fought back after being down big, and then, you know, we said, just like they say in basketball, volleyball can be a game of runs. North Lamar makes their run, and then here comes Pleasant Grove making a run when you really couldn't afford them to.
And there you see them sticking with it. They're not out of it yet.
It'll be Curtis to serve.
Good block there at the net.
And this one goes long, and yeah, that's nothing fancy about it. We're trying to finish this game.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you go to your home run hitter whenever you need a big swing.
Bemke. And then Hennard, but Stewart right there, and then Lane down the line. I don't know. No.
Got to say it was out.
It's out, and that's how this one ends, with Pleasant Grove finishing it off in 4 sets, 25-15. They win set number 1, 25-22. Set number 2, 25-23. North Lamar took the third set, 25-16. And PG moves to 4-1 after the first round of district. North Lamar drops to 3-2. The Pleasant Grove Lady Hawks will be at home against Paris on Friday. North Lamar will be at home against Sulphur Springs. And that's going to do it for our broadcast tonight. Thank you so very much. Appreciate you, Dodie, for joining us here tonight. And we thank you for tuning in here to Game Day.